On December 30th, 2022, a Rhino Tribe member posted to the Rhino Tribe Facebook page this post. It started with, I started my wholesale journey last March. The first 8 months was a struggle to say the least, but I told myself failure was not an option and kept putting in the work. Fast forward to December, and I closed 3 properties to end the year strong. There's so much I've learned throughout the past 9 months, so I'll list a few of the biggest takeaways I've found. That post was from an incredible wholesaler out of Marshfield, Wisconsin. It's my pleasure to introduce to the Rhino Tribe, the Wholesaling Inc. podcast, Trevor Van Keur. Trevor, how are you?
Doing good, man. How are you doing?
I am excited to have you on here because we're going to go through this post because I think it's something that a lot of people can relate to, especially in their first 12 months of this business of wholesaling real estate, of really being a real estate investor, or really taking action towards that goal and that dream of being a real estate investor and owning a real estate business. You have some incredible things. So I want to start. I'm going to go through each one of these bullet points. There is 5 of them, and I want you to kind of put some flesh to the bones of what you were saying here, because I think it's going to help out a lot of people. By the way, guys, Trevor is a full-time mechanical engineer. He's been doing it for 4 years. He's making the transition from being a mechanical engineer and working for somebody else to working for himself. He's made huge strides as of December and keeps building up his pipeline and building up the amount of deals that he's closing. So an incredible journey, but for the first 8 months, it was pretty tough.
Yeah.
And that's definitely why the first one you have on here is Squad Up. There's a lot of great people in this industry who have been where you're at and are willing to help you if you put in the work. If you put in the work in parentheses and bold, all caps, like you were screaming it from the mountaintop. Why do you say that?
Yeah, man, because everybody like this is such a tough business, and when you get going, you're looking for somebody to come in and like get you to the success you're looking for. So like you always hear squad up, squad up, squad up, but if you don't have no problem to solve or no value to bring to somebody, they're not going to stop what they're doing to go make you successful. So it's like when you squad up, in my opinion, I like to have a deal or a problem that, people can collaborate on.
Absolutely. And you said because this business is so tough. Why is this business so tough?
I guess it's perspective. It takes a lot of consistency where you don't pick up the phone one time and get the success. You have to, some people might, but in my experience, you had to keep going at it day after day after day with no guarantee of the results you were looking for. So you just have to go off faith, and that can be very daunting and draining on your attitude. So that's what I mean when it's tough. It's not physically tough. It's not like back-breaking labor. It's just mentally challenging.
Well, change always is, right? Especially when, if you are used to, I put in this work and I get that check, and that check, the receipt is that W-2, the job that you have, the 9 to 5, you're getting paid on a hourly basis or a salary basis based on the amount of effort you put in. It's much different when you go into the world of being an entrepreneur, where you have to create this out of thin air and provide value to the marketplace, and nobody's necessarily going to pay you until you have the skills and the opportunities to be able to, give enough value to the marketplace to get of course, the return of income. So that's
when I joined the program, you always said you get paid by the amount of value you provide. And at first I'm like, what the hell does that mean? How am I providing value? But after doing the deals I've done, every single deal, there was a problem I solved, and I was helping somebody in one way or another. So now, literally, one of my notes is, someone needs my help, go find them. I read that before I start cold calling, because that's what I'm after. I'm just trying to help somebody. Do you have a problem I can solve? Okay, let's take care of it.
In 2016 and in 2015, I was listening to this exact podcast, Trevor, and I remember Tom Kroll just pounding it, and he would say, your income is equal to the amount of value that you provide. So I started I had one of those old school Grant Cardone 10X journals, and I would write in it every single day my goals, and I would write, it used to be I'm going to make $10,000 today. I'm going to make $10,000 today. I'm going to make $10,000 today. And then I switched it to, I'm going to provide $10,000 worth of value today. And it was really interesting, kind of the change that you had. And also the influence of the book, The Go-Giver, really helped me with that and really helped me understand and solidify that if we want to make $1 million, we have to provide $1 million worth of value. It's the amount of people that we serve and how well that we serve them is the way that we get paid. Let's go to the number 2, what you posted here. There will be days when things won't go your way or you feel defeated. Those are the days that build grit and a hard mindset. Keep pushing through. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, man. There is a lot of times, right? So I work my day job, come home, I take like a 10-minute nap, and then I jump on the phones. And at like month 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there, when I wasn't hitting, but I was putting the work in, I'd get done calling and I'd go take a shower. And I couldn't even think. I was just in like such a fog. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm putting the work in. I'm not getting the results. My girlfriend would be talking to me. I'd hear her voice, but I wasn't really hearing what she was saying. I was just like so in my head. But I didn't give up, you know what I mean? I just kept, okay, well, today wasn't the day. Tomorrow's going to be the day type of thing. And now...
Was there any distractions?
I don't know, man. That's tough to say. I think I was just getting in my head at that point because you see everybody else getting the success, and when you're sitting there on the sidelines waiting for your turn, it's just like, man, am I not cut out for this? What the heck's going on? Why am I not getting there? But you just start to callous your mind, and like now, I just know that's par for the course. There's going to be days that suck, but that's part of it. You know what I mean?
And how do you get through days like that? Do you just stop and just say, you know what, I don't have it today?
Yeah, like if I'm in a really piss poor mood, I will not cold call just because I know it's not worth my time. But yeah, it's like, well, I put the work in today, but I'm just move on. It's just one of those days. Everyone has a bad day. I'm not gonna, really beat that into my brain like, oh yeah, bad day, this is how it's going to be forever. It's like, nope, okay, it is what it is, move on type of thing. Try again tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah, I had an incredible coach for years. Her name was Kathy Anderson, and we used to do this every year where we would sit down, we go through the whole year, and she goes, okay, put together the perfect schedule to hit your financial goals. At the time, it was like I wanted to make $400,000. So we broke it down on how many deals that was, how long it took to get the deals, all the things, right? And then she goes, okay, great. If you could stay on your schedule 70% of the time, you're going to blow this goal away. And she was absolutely right. It's just those times. There's going to be 10, 20, 30% of the time where you just don't have it in you. You know what I mean? But it's when those times really stretch out and you start trying to put all of the doubt, distraction, and disappointment in front of the 3 Ds that really throws us off. And so, yeah, you can have a bad day, but just get past it. Like, keep staying focused on the reason that you're doing this. You know what I mean? Keep building up the faith that you can do this. And I think you're a perfect example of what happens when you do. Your third one, don't look at stress as a bad thing. Use it as an indicator of growth. What stresses you out now will be a breeze in the months to come.
Yeah, man. Everyone's so against being uncomfortable. David Goggins really kind of beat this into my mind, but we look at stress as like the enemy, but it's forcing growth. It's your brain, taking on a new challenge. And for instance, when you first start out in this business, cold calling, that's really stressful. Now it's like, this is nothing. Filling out your first purchase agreement, talking to a title company, calling up your first probate attorney, like all the stuff's like scary as hell at the first go of it, but after you do it once or twice, or you just keep doing it, it's no longer stressful. So it's like, okay, now let's go find the next thing to stress me out, because I know that's the next step for growth. And that's just kind
Yep.
of how I look at it.
Yeah, I love that, and it keeps popping up in my life that saying hard times create strong people create good times create weak people, and weak people create hard times.
I
You
love
know, it's
that
an old
quote.
saying. Yeah, it's an old saying from an author, Michael Humph, but it's absolutely true, and I want people to go through the hard times. I want them to go through that challenge. I want them to cross that bridge of faith to fact and close that deal. And sometimes when it happens too easy, Trevor, when it happens in the first 8 days as opposed to the first 8 months, sometimes you kind of lay back on your efforts and you don't really build all the skills that you need, and you start trying to leverage other people's skills. And if you have the budget, absolutely. That's what business is all about. You know, at some point you fire yourself from different roles in the business, but I always think that it's best to make sure that your business is up, it's profitable, it's running, you know, all the parts of it, and then you start putting people into those positions when the business actually has been profitable, not just because you have a big nest egg of money that you can throw at this business to build it up quickly. I think getting in and putting in the work and talking to at least 1,000 property owners, and that's really the measure marker that I look at is, have you talked to 1,000 property owners yourself? If you have, go bananas. Do what you want. You know, go hire as many people. Go try as many marketing techniques as you can. Go crazy because you've got the skills. You're not scared of talking to people anymore. You'll be able to take advantage of all the opportunities that come your way because you've had so much experience talking to property owners. But most people, we start this business, we haven't talked to anybody about real estate. Especially, I mean, you're 23 years old now. You started when you were 22. There probably wasn't a tremendous amount of opportunity for you to speak to people about buying their ugly houses. And so you get really good and you get really comfortable, and that takes time and reps. So I love that. I love that you put that in there. Next is, don't waste your time on unmotivated sellers. Yes, I love this one. You'll know they are motivated when there's a problem you can solve. It's very rewarding to help distressed homeowners through a tough time.
Yeah, I got caught in the loop of chasing people in the beginning of who I thought were motivated. 3 months later, just to be pissed off essentially when the deal falls apart because there was never a deal in the first place.
Yep.
So now one of the things, like especially when you're cold calling, a lot of times I'll be like, yeah, I'm interested in selling if the price is right. Well, if I hear that, okay, what's the right price? Because it's probably not what I can pay for it, type of thing. But the biggest thing I look for, usually sometimes it takes a little bit to uncover, but like, is there a problem I can solve? Or like the black swan, you know, what's the pain? What's the motivation? And then
Yep.
that's really kind of what I focus in on more than anything, to determine if it's worth pursuing or not.
Yeah, it's price, speed, convenience, right? Sellers are looking at, they can only pick two of those: price, speed, and convenience. And if they want speed and convenience, then they have to understand that they're not going to get the highest price. That's just
Right.
a fact. If they want to get the highest price that they possibly can, put it on the market, get it cleaned up, go through appraisals, go through inspections, go and fix up everything, get it ready to sell so that you can get the most for your properties. But if you want speed and convenience, that's people that typically, to your point, Trevor, people that want speed and convenience, there is a problem. There's a problem. They can't afford to fix up their property. They're behind on their finances and they're about to lose the property. They can't pay their property taxes. They're going through a sticky emotional situation. They inherited a property that they just want to sell off so that everybody can get the funds, and they're not in a place to be real estate investors. They just want to sell it off and be done with it. This happens every single second of every single minute of every single day. It is our job to go find the people that are underserved in that market, and 6 to 10% statistically, 6 to 10% are in distress at all times, and that's who we focus our attention on. And the other 90%, though, that we talk to, Trevor, don't need our help.
No.
So stop wasting their time, stop wasting our time, and look for the people that actually have a problem that you can solve. I love it. The last one that you put on here, the fifth bullet point, is balance. It's very easy to get consumed in this industry and neglect relationships. Money won't bring happiness if you lose the people you care about in the process.
Yeah, I really got hit with this bug hard, where it's hard for me to not constantly be busy. If I'm not busy, I feel like I'm not being productive. So I'm always working or trying to work, and it's easy to all of a sudden stop paying as much time to your girlfriend or visiting the parents or talking with your buddies, because all you're thinking about is deals. I mean, it's like a sickness, man. Like, there's days, most of the time I wake up, I'm thinking about a deal, and I'm going to bed thinking about some sort of deal I'm working on. So I've really been working on segregating time for, okay, me and the girlfriend are going to hang out and I'm going to be present with her. I'm not
Sure.
going to think about the business. I'm not going to, just really separating myself so that way, everyone doesn't blow me off or get sick of my crap because I'm not giving them any attention. You know what I mean?
Yep. Can I give you some advice there?
Sure. Yeah.
The time that you set aside for this business, block it out, make it sacred time, and sprint as fast as you can during that time so that you don't have the guilt of hanging out with your girlfriend and going out and hanging out with friends or doing something social and all those things, because that is the plague. The plague is you set aside the time and then you just don't do it. You get creative avoidance, and all of a sudden you're shuffling paperwork, or you're doing something else around the house, or you know what, let me look up that YouTube thing one more time to see if I really got it down, and let me listen to this podcast one more time before I start taking action. No. When the time is set aside and it is sustainable, it has to be sustainable. That's an important word in our business, because everybody's got other responsibilities and relationships and things that they're responsible for. And so you can't just neglect everything, because everything then starts falling apart. So during the time, make it sacred time, commit 100% to what you're supposed to be doing. And then when you're done, you've accomplished it. You feel like a winner, and then you can go on and do other things in your life. And the other thing is, it's a two-edged sword, comparison, right? Comparison to others and comparison to where we feel we already should be. Right? It's a two-edged sword because it is the seed of success, comparison, but it is also it'll also destroy you. It'll absolutely destroy you. And so you got to really watch where you think you should be and where other people where their businesses are and the success that they have is, and just focus on what you can control, and that's your daily actions in the time that you've set aside that's sustainable in your life.
I struggled with comparing myself to others and where I thought I should be really badly when I first got going. But it's kind of like society nowadays. You go on Facebook and all you see is everybody, the good things going on. Same thing with the wholesaling or real estate in general. People don't typically post their failures. So all you're seeing is people closing deals in these massive checks. So it can mess with you if your mindset's not right, where you're struggling yourself and then you see everyone else succeeding. So yeah, comparing yourself, that I don't think there's anything good that comes from that. Maybe on a healthy level, like, okay, my partners and we all have goals, so you're kind of comparing yourself in that aspect. But your success to where other people's success is, you don't know what their goals are, what their mission is anyways. So
yeah,
it's kind of silly.
Yeah. We're all doing our own thing. We all have different backgrounds. We all have different things floating around in our head. We don't know what's going on with other people. We can only just treat people unbelievably. You know what I mean? But and somebody's probably yelling at me listening to this and watching this, because I think the line is, comparison is the thief of joy, but it's also the seed of greatness. So it's an interesting kind of double-edged sword there that you have to really watch. I love it. Let's break down a deal. Let's get past all the mindset stuff and the past stuff. Let's talk about the exciting stuff. And well, all of that's exciting. I love your story and I love the stuff that you put there. But let's get into the nitty-gritty of deals, right? So let's break down a deal.
Yeah. So the one I got one closing on the 23rd of this month. This one's kind of cool in its own unique way. For starters, it's up in northern Wisconsin, and there's not much going on up there. I was actually at work, and I pulled up Marketplace on Facebook, and I seen this house for sale, and the number looked good just at first glance, so I messaged the lady.
Marketplace where?
On Facebook. Just
Facebook
like
Marketplace in North Wisconsin.
northern Wisconsin, yeah,
Okay.
just off the out of a whim. But yeah, so I messaged the lady, and then that was on a Wednesday. I couldn't get there till Friday, so I took a day of vacation from work to go on the seller appointment because I knew it was hot and I knew it would probably move pretty quick. The lady wanted 69,000 for it, or 70,000, something like that, and my number was like 45 is where I needed to be, and it was like an hour and a half drive from my house. And on the way there, I'm thinking, man, I'm not gonna get this deal. The house is in really good condition, but whatever, I'm gonna go anyways. So I go walk through the house. It's really, really a clean house. The lady was moving for a job, and she didn't want to sell it with a realtor. She just wanted to put it on Marketplace and get it moved quickly. So we went through the property, built up a lot of good rapport. A little minor cosmetic stuff needed with the house. But then we get outside and we're walking around in the backyard, and I kind of was hinting. I'm like, so I imagine you're probably getting a lot of interest on this property then. I mean, you got it priced pretty reasonably, type of thing. And she's like, yeah, I got 8 investors coming to look at it Monday, and I just had a guy before you look at it before you got here. So I'm like, oh my God, there's no way I'm going to get this. But she was at 70, and then I just did a really crazy anchor. I'm like, I'm going to need, or I always say, like, you're really going to hate me for my number, but I got to be at like 35 on it. And she said she couldn't do 35. So I said, okay, well, how close can you get to that number? And then she went from 70 down to 45. And I'm like, holy shit, Jesus. I didn't expect that one. But yeah, so I got it under contract. And then disappointing, that one was really tough because it was in such a little town in the middle of nowhere. But I ended up finding one through a local RIA. A buyer through a local
Walk
RIA.
us through that real quick, Trevor. So you didn't have a lot of cash buyers buying. So what, did you Google Real Estate Investor Association in that area?
Yeah, so I go to a local RIA about 45 minutes south from where the property is, and I just kind of presented it in person. I also posted it on the Facebook page, and yeah, man, that was good because then people kind of knew what I was doing, and I found a buyer. So.
Incredible. And so the buyer just reached out. What was it? Was it in person or was it on the website they saw it?
They saw it on Facebook, but then they were actually at the RIA too. So I posted it on the Facebook group, and then the lady was interested and we were talking. And then she was actually at the RIA, which was that next Monday or Tuesday, whatever it was.
Awesome.
And it was cool. But the reason I liked that deal was I learned a lot from the power of building rapport. Because this lady was asking 70,000, and she had 8 people coming Monday, and a guy that came before me. But just being personable and not picking their house apart and telling them how shitty it is and how much everything's going to cost. I just really tried to understand her situation and build a connection. And I got a crazy discount for that, so that was pretty cool.
Why did she want to sell it?
She was moving out of state for a job opportunity. So she didn't.
And how was the condition of the property? Was it still, what did it look like the pictures that you saw on Facebook?
Yeah, it was super clean. Like new roof, brand new windows, hardwood flooring. It needed some paint and like very minor cosmetic work, but they had stuck money into the house because they didn't ever anticipate leaving. So they were just fixing it up as they went, and they lived there for a long time. So the house was like retail market ready, which was super crazy. I couldn't even believe it.
And you got it for 45? What'd you sell it for?
55.
You got it for 45, sold it for 55?
Yeah, so I made 10 on it.
Woo! Hold on a second. Incredible. That is amazing. And are you finding a lot of opportunities on Facebook Marketplace, or was this just kind of a random, hey, I'll check the marketplace and see what's going on?
I'm finding opportunities, but right now it's like a 33%. I've walked 3 properties off of Marketplace, and one of them was a deal. But I mean, at that, I'll take that. So the thing I would say with marketplace though, because everybody sees them, you really got to get to them quick. Like, hey, I'll be there tomorrow, or I'll be there in
Now.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Because otherwise it's going to go.
Yeah, it's like on market deals. You know, people are looking on the MLS. I mean, people see the MLS way more than Facebook Marketplace, way more than like Craigslist Marketplace. You know, and so when properties hit the market, they either get snatched up really fast, or if they sit on the market, they're way overpriced, and you have to get a significant discount. So I know a lot of people are going for on market deals. If you do, my rule of thumb is if it's sitting for over 30 days. Really, if it's sitting over 21 days and it hasn't fallen in and out of under contract with other buyers and in escrow and out of escrow, you offer 50% of what it's listed for. Maybe lower, depending on the price of the property. But
it's kind of funny. I got a good buddy who's actually from central Wisconsin too, like one town over. He moved out to Arizona and he joined Jamil's program.
Yep.
At the same time I joined TTP. So we've been in this together. Judd, he Astro student. So if I see the benefit of referrals. That's one thing I'm trying to incorporate now. I love direct to seller, but the idea of having somebody bring me deals, even if it's one deal a year, you know, that's one deal I didn't have to go out and find type of thing. So anytime I have like realtor questions, I always try to reach out to him, just because, you know, there's a lot of power in that, I believe.
Yeah, and listen, it's a big part, and we talk about it in the tribe. You know, you have to build that 30-person referral base that'll send you a deal a year. Just one deal, but that's an extra 30 deals. And that takes time to build up. It takes time to build a relationship. It takes a lot of reaching out. Hey, do you have anything new for me? Do you have anything coming up that needs a lot of work? I'm looking for something that needs significant investment. Do you have anything else? Do you have anything coming up? And it's over and over and over and over again. And then people just know that you become the cash buyer in their area, whether that be real estate investors, wholesalers, or agents, real estate agents. And they start sending you deals. And so, yeah, it's a big focus for what we do. I mean, I've been talking about that since 2017, of talking to 5 agents every single day to build up that network of people that'll refer you business. It's powerful. So, awesome. How can people get a hold of you, Trevor? People love your energy. They love your honesty. They love your experience.
Yeah, man. I just try to be real, not sugarcoat things. I'm a pretty intense guy. I'm pretty PG right now, but I'm a pretty intense guy normally. But yeah, Trevor Vancor on Facebook. You can shoot me a text, 715-204-9831.
Say it
one
again.
thing I do want to say, if anybody's looking to do deals in Wisconsin, if you can't get a hold of me, another good guy to know would be Josh Weiser. He's in Western Wisconsin. I call him the Jamil of Western Wisconsin. He just seems to have a buyer for everybody, and that's a guy I really enjoy working with.
Awesome.
So he'll take care of you as well if I'm not able to.
What was that name again? Josh Weiser?
Josh Weiser, yep.
And what's your number again?
My phone number is 715-204-9831.
Awesome. Trevor, thank you so much for being on here, man. Thank you so much for participating in the tribe. Thank you so much for sharing your story. A lot of people, when, you know, everybody wants to talk about how they got fast wins and they got there fast and success is easy, and you showed the truth to it. You know, it takes time. It takes time to build the consistency. It takes time to, work with these property owners, typically about a 90-day cycle from the first day that you talk to somebody to the day that you actually get paid on those deals. And I think you're absolutely right. You know, you got to squat up. There's going to be some days that don't go your way. Don't look at stress as a bad thing. Don't waste your time with unmotivated sellers, and stay balanced. I love it, brother. Thank you for being on here.
Yeah, thank you, Brent.
Awesome. That's it, guys. If you're interested in joining the most proactive community in real estate investing, if you're looking to go from your first deal all the way to building a 7-figure business that runs mostly without you. Check us out at wholesalinginc.com, wholesalinginc.com. Check out what the mentorship's all about. Check out what the Rhino Tribe is all about. If it feels good in your gut, sign up for a call, and I look forward to welcome you into the tribe. And that's it. As always, I encourage you to go out there and talk to people. Till next time. Love you guys. See ya.